Dear students, welcome. We are going to discuss chemical properties of alkali metals. Group 1 metals are known as alkali metals. Why they are known as alkali metals? Reason is they produce alkali when react with water. Hope you understand. Let's discuss first the reaction of group 1 metals with oxygen. Whenever metals are placed in atmosphere in open air, they will become dull. What is the reason? There is an oxide layer formed on their surface. For example, you can see when potassium reacts with the oxygen to produce metal oxide. This metal oxide is solid at room temperature. Due to the formation of this oxide layer, potassium will look dull whenever it is exposed to air. Normally, metals are uh, shiny unless they are not exposed to atmosphere. In order to prevent them from the reaction with oxygen, they are usually stored under oil. So 4 moles of, you can see 4 moles of potassium when react with 1 mole of oxygen, it produces 2 moles of potassium oxide. All the metals with oxygen have the same ratio 4:1:2. 4 moles of metal, 1 mole of oxygen will produce 2 moles of metal oxide. Metal oxide is an ionic compound. Whenever metal and non-metal react with each other, they make ionic compound. Detail will be shared in the chemical bonding. Hope you understand. So metals all are solids. Oxygen, gas, metal oxides are solids as well. Hope you understand. Now reaction of group 1 metals with halogens. Halogens, what are halogens? Halogens are group 7 elements. Why we write halogens in molecular form? The reason is very simple. In atomic state, their outer shell is not complete. They are highly unstable. They need one electron to complete their outer shell. That is why they share outer shell electron with each other or with itself to make a stable form, that is Cl. In case of Cl, it will be Cl2. In case of iodine, it will be I2. So whenever group 1 metals react with halogens, they produce salts, which are solids at room temperature. These are soluble salts. All group 1, metal, salts or compounds, they are soluble in water. Hope you understand. As I told you in the previous, reaction with oxygen, the same pattern will apply here. Rubidium, meaning metal, we will take 2 moles. Any metal, whenever react with halogens, will be taken as 2 moles. And 1 mole of chlorine to produce 2 moles of that particular solid, salts. And salt is solid at room temperature. Hope you understand. Now the last reaction, which is a very, very important reaction. This is the part of your examination. It has been asked many times. So be careful, girls and boys. Okay. Whenever group 1 metals, they react with water, what they produce? They produce alkali and hydrogen gas. So how we know that alkali is produced or hydrogen is produced? So we can test this by using a test for hydrogen gas. You know what is the test for hydrogen gas? If we bring a lighted splinter near to the mouth of a test tube, it will be extinguished with popping sound. Hope you understand. First it will catch fire, then finally it will be extinguished. It will produce popping sound. Normally in the paper we write hydrogen gas, if it is present, it will be extinguished with popping sound. So two moles of that metal, for example potassium, will react with 2 moles of water. You know, water is a liquid at room temperature, metals are solids at room temperature, except mercury. We are talking about only group 1 metals. Mercury does not belong to group 1 metal. Potassium hydroxide is aqueous, mean it is soluble in water. That is why it is known as alkali. Base which is soluble in water is known as alkali. Base is a metal oxide or metal hydroxide. Hydrogen gas is highly flammable gas. Whenever it is produced, it is in atomic state. In atomic state, it is very reactive, it is highly flammable. At once it makes hydrogen H2, that is also flammable. So when rubidium reacts with water, it produces rubidium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. When potassium reacts with water, it produces potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. So 2 moles of metals. For every metal, you will take the same 2 moles of water, and 2 moles of salts, and 1 mole of hydrogen gas. You will get 3 marks for balancing of a chemical equation whenever metal react with water. Then remaining marks are for observations. The marks for observation vary from 1 to 3. If there are 1 mark, you need to write 1 observation. 2 mark 2 observation, 3 marks 3 observation, and so on. If you understand, maximum, they can give you 3 marks for this for these observations. So whenever metals react with water, first in case of potassium the reaction will become vigorous. In case of rubidium it will be explosive. That means rubidium is more reactive than potassium because it lying down the group as compared to potassium. So one is vigorous, other is explosive. If we go further, it will be more explosive. And then in both cases, metal melts. You can see this. In both cases, it make a ball, floats, finally dissolves, You can see effervescence is produced. So these are some common observation. Flame can be produced. It catches flame. In case of rubidium, it will catch fire. Hope you understand. If these reactions are applicable to all the metals of group 1, hope you understand. If you have any question, you can share it with me through my channel in comment box. Inshallah, I will respond you. Please do subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.